This is a presentation on Renweb1. This is the web version of Renweb. It's been in development to close to 4 years, and we feel it's ready for prime time. It's got many of the features that you are used to in the desktop version of Renweb, with a few additions. The way to get to it is to go to renweb1.renweb.com/Renweb1. You will get to a login screen, and you will log in the exact same way that you logged into the desktop. TKA-FL is our district code. Once you log in, you will see this interface. You will always be greeted with some information and status updates. In the upper right hand corner, when you click the school, you can change schools. Right now I'm only in high school. There's the term and year as well. Next to it, we call it the waffle iron. This is a quick link to different things. There's email, help, chat support, and various options. Right next to it, you see a circle with your initials. You can change your password and log out. Over to the left, we call this the hamburger menu button. This is where you will pull it out and go to various areas. We'll start with classroom. When you click classroom, a list of classes that you teach will be listed out. In this example, you can see that there's different colors. This colors can be modified by you by clicking the pencil, choosing a color, and then choosing a class. This would be good if you teach multiple classes and you want to differentiate different classes by color. In this case, environmental is blue and marine is green. Click the pencil to close the palette. Over here you can change dates and jump to different periods in time. Notice a new tab opened up at the top. Let's go into a class and see what we can do. When you go into a class, it defaults to attendance. If you want to change what you can do, you simply click on the code and you can fill it in as needed. Also, you can change dates. And you can change view by day or week. The next thing you'll probably want to jump to is gradebook. This is a very familiar look and what you're already used to. You can choose which categories you want to filter out. If you would just want to see daily grades, click daily. And if you just want to see test grades, click test. And a summary, of course, is daily tests. If you hit the gear button, these are all the options that you can change. A lot of this is the same. Scales, how you want to grade, different grading codes. This is usually set by default by administration. Here's where you can add and set up categories in the weighting, and which terms you want them attached to. If you need any reporting, if you click reports, they have some ready-made reports that pertain to the gradebook. Of course, you would click open. You can also change classes quickly from the class drop-down. If you need to download a Excel sheet, you can click the download button and it will give you a CSV, which is like an Excel sheet. If you want to add an assignment, you click the plus sign. A lot of these fields are exactly the same in desktop. Choose the category, give it titles and descriptions, and any due dates. The next area that most of you will be in and out of would be lesson plans. Students, you can jump to quickly to look up information about a student. Over to the right, you have different options. There's the behavior. You can look at a report card, look at family information, parent-teacher conferences, and so forth. Notice a new tab opened up for people. You can jump back and forth at any time. You can also jump to family, students, and people here as well. This is the communication tab. This is what's replaced the email. Many of you have already been in this since the desktop version of Renweb has defaulted to this. So it walks you through it. You're in the Compose tab. You would put your subject and your message. Keep in mind that this is web-based, so a lot of symbols, characters, you have to be careful, especially when you cut and paste. Choose your select recipients. Make sure you're in the families area and not up here. That parent and that student is under admissions. It's not the same thing as under the families. We generally use custody. This is denoted to where the child lives. And at the very bottom is students. That's the student you want to hit. So a typical selection would be custody and student. So I'll select custody. And if you go over to recipients, it kind of lists out the email addresses that it will be going to. And then you would just hit the send message button to the far right. You can close these tabs down at any time and always come back to them. So if we go into Gradebook, let's see lesson plans real quick. This is very simple. You would just simply click on a day and fill in the form. It looks differently, but the information is the same. You have web lesson plan, web homework. That's what the kids see in Renweb. Below that is the lesson plans which administration checks. The next area is report card, and this is where at the end of the term we would send our grades, attendance, comment codes, and so forth. Right now we're looking at grades. Now we can see comments. Then you can see attendance. You can hit load from gradebook, load attendance, and it would pull it in just to kind of refresh it. Citizenship is there as well for conduct. You can see some other areas that we probably don't use. You can make grade changes here if you need to, put in some overrides. If you need to reload from the gradebook, remember, letter is better, or now it's alpha. In Report Manager, these are some typical reports that you will use. You can see gradebook reports, create reports. If you create a report, hit student, It will take a minute to load, but down below you can see the different filtering and the different types of reports. Remember, you can go back and forth by clicking the different tabs at the top. For those of you who use the Parents Web information for different things like announcements and resources, that still exists under Web Items. Click Announcements, fill it in. Remember, global means it will go to all your classes. Clicking Home takes you back to the dashboard.